What's up, everybody? I'm Jesse. This is my garage, and today we're actually going to be working on the 240. I've got a couple projects for this car. First thing we need to do is reinstall the battery and the rear carpet in the trunk. I had to take it out to do some stuff. Number two is I got a new stereo head unit that's just a Bluetooth only unit that I want to put in this car. We've got an older stereo that uses CDs and it's like unusable. I don't ever use it. We're going to start driving this car around. If we have the 300ZX go down when we do the twin turbo motor swap, so I want this to be enjoyable, so we're going to do that. And the third thing is we need to make the interior look better, because trust me, I need to work on the interior in this car. And we have the GKTech shift boot retainer trim piece that we can put in, get our shift boot all looking nice. But let's get to it. All right, now on my 240, the battery lives in the back, which I bet a lot of 240s have the battery in the back nowadays. And this is what it looks like. Now I actually have the carpet that goes in here, and I took it out because water got in here, because the tail lights aren't sealed up, which we're gonna have to fix all of that. I'm gonna put the carpet back right now with the battery, button it all up, and get to looking good. So let's just go. Boom, that's done. Cleaned it up quite nicely. And I love the 240, how they designed that so you can get to the top of the struts. But there's our battery box. That's all done. Let's get inside. Get some stuff done on the inside. Oh man, I have to put this back. All right, well, it's a little chilly today, so I had to go get out some long sleeves to continue working out in the garage here. But getting back on this guy, I've got this right here. It's just really a Bluetooth receiver unit. I have this same unit in the 300ZX and it's awesome. And I actually scored this for like 11 bucks on clearance. So we're just gonna use, we got speakers in the 240, so we're just gonna use that head unit, replace what's in there. All right, so just opening this up. Yeah, boom, look at 11 bucks. So let's get some speakers. We're not gonna mess with that. What I just want is the head unit out of it. So this isn't a CD player or anything. This is just like a Bluetooth receiver, which is fine because we've got our phone. So there's a wiring harness, and man, it's just this little guy here. All right, well, that's it. Just literally this little thing here, which is pretty awesome. And it should go in there exactly the same as how the 300ZX is, because it's like the same setup. Just get inside the 240, pull it apart. It's super easy, and see what we're working with. All right, well, we are in here, and what I really love about the 240 is how easy it is to work on. We're gonna have to take this out because I don't have that shift boot in right now. We'll just pop this off carefully because it will break. You can see it little, but it just pop off ever so carefully, and then boom. I mean, we're at the CD player. Let's pull this thing out, see what it's gonna look like. All right, so this is how the unit pulls out. This extra DIN little storage cubby, I actually put one of those out of a 240 in the 300ZX, so this is like the exact same setup as in my 300ZX. We'll pull this apart and see how we can get this, since this is a lot smaller, to bolt in there. I can't remember how I did it on the other car, but let's see what we can come up with. All right, well, here we got our old unit. And you see I'm missing that knob there. That is from Claire playing in the car. But I'm just going to reuse this wiring harness. This is the Nissan wiring harness. It's hooked to here. We're just going to trim this out. And then this is just all matching it up. Here's for the rear speakers. So we got purple, green. Front speakers are the gray and white. And then our antenna power, ground power, ignition power. So, and that's all just match it up here. So instead of buying another harness, I'm just going to reuse this one, cut it out here, hook it up, and we'll be good to go. Let's go now. All right, so we got our wiring harness all together. Everything just matching up colors, getting everything secure. I taped it right here so it won't pull. There'll be no tension here. If there's any tension, we'll pull on it. It'll be right there. Same over here. Any wires we weren't using, just looped them back around and kind of capped them off. Now we can just put this thing in. Let's figure out how to mount that unit. All right, so to get this to fit, we have to pull off this cage because we're not going to be using it. To do that, we just use the tools that it came with. This little guy, just put that tab down, slide it in like that. You'll push off the lock. Do that on both sides. Toss that thing. Now there's little holes right here, and we are going to use them. Line it up with that right there, just like that. And this is kind of sketchy. This front lip does not come off of here, but hey, for 11 bucks, you know, we're gonna do with what we can. This is how I did it in the 300ZX, and it works. Been working for over a year now. And this one will do the same because they are the exact same setup. There that is. I mean, all you're doing is basically just kind of wedging it in there. It's nothing special. This is not threaded, the face, but just how it kind of all sits together. It works out in the size of the screws. I mean, it's perfect, and it should go back in there. Let's put the harness on and check it out, make sure this thing's gonna fit. All right, we got our harness in the back of this unit here. Double check that, and then our harness going into our vehicle harness. Super clean. This is gonna be easy. I mean, we have plenty of room, and plenty of room just to have the wiring harness right sitting right there. When we go in, we don't have to push it back and try to fit it in like a regular CD player. That takes a little persuasion to get it right in there, but it fits. It's like perfectly fits right there. All right, let's turn some power on here, see what we're working with. Nothing. All right, well we don't have any power, so let's pull it out and figure out why. All right, well, we got our wiring harness pulled all out, and if you noticed on the other CD player, it was grounded right off the back of the CD player. Then it was grounded itself to the chassis. It did not use this ground right here, so that's what I'm going to start with. We're going to take this cap off, and we're going to check and see if this is actually grounded or not, which I'm going to guess that it's not. And to do that, we'll just use a voltmeter, and it's super simple. If it's grounded, it's going to be connected to the chassis, so we're just going to use this setting right here. Just going to tell it its connectivity, and touch these leads together. I'll show you what this, we'll touch these leads together and I'll show you what this does. So it beeps and it says that the circuit is closed. So what we're going to do is go one to this wire right here, to our ground wire, and then we're going to go one to the chassis, and yeah, nothing. So that's telling me that that circuit is not grounded. So what we need to do is I will actually just add a ground wire back here, and we'll just cap in right here. For some reason that chassis ground isn't grounded. I don't know why. So we're going to ground that, ground the CD player, and let's put a new ground in right back here. All right, so if you see right there, we just did a chassis ground. So that is grounded, and we'll check the same way we did it before with our voltmeter. So now we're going to check our ground. I'm going to hold that, and then we're going to put the red lead to a different part of the chassis that we know is grounded to make sure that this new ground is going to work for us. Right here. Yep, perfect. So we know our new ground right here will work, and we're just going to tie that into this wiring harness right now. All right, so we've got our new ground all hooked up. Everything's grounded. We tested it. It works. Let's get this Bluetooth receiver hooked back up and get it back into place. All right, back in place. Does it work? There we go. All right, all right. All right, all right, we had to go into our phone and do our super secret 1, 2, 3, 4 to pair it. And now we can put something. All right, well, it looks like it works. Now we just have to see if this plastic piece is going to fit around it. Just because how this thing is shaped. I think it'll be okay. All right, well, it fits perfectly in there with that lip. Looks good, and actually have some music in here now. Another thing we need to do is address this boot because it's just kind of sitting in here. And we have the piece from GKTech. And since we're in this area, let's go ahead and check that out and let's see if we can get it installed. All right, well, here is this piece. These like always break, so it's nice that GKTech, we can find a replacement. This thing is like pretty inexpensive as well. This will clean all that up nicely. And, it's a pretty nice little unit. So it just goes on the bottom. Look at that, dude. I even got my screws right in place, left them right there. And boom. All we have to do is fit the boot around it. So hopefully this boot is like just a replacement sheet boot, not necessarily OEM. So we'll see how it fits. So that actually worked way better than I thought. And this kind of eBay replacement boot seems to be working great. I thought I'd probably have to cut it up or something to get it to fit, but it did it. The GKTech replacement trim piece worked out. Even through this thick seam. I was, didn't want to put too much stress on it because I didn't want it to break. That is the problem with the OEM ones. They just get brittle and break. Really the issue with mine is the trim and these mounting spots are starting to give on the piece of trim. And these are tricky to find. And this one's right-hand drive, so good luck. I do actually have another one of these in left-hand drive. But it looks like it's going to work. I need to clean this garbage up that I did years ago trying to mount some gauges right here with sticky Velcro. I'll clean that up sometime, but let's check the fitment on this. All right, so on this this backside right here, it is pretty close tolerance and there's not a lot of room for material, so I did go and move that back a little bit. Let's see, move the material back just to have a little bit. I was noticing they had these slits in here for the seam, which is these slits right here for the seam, which is really nice. But I took a little bit of material out of there because it's tight. Let's see if it'll fit now. Oh, that looks so good. Now, what I need to do is get a short shifter and a different shift knob, because if you've ever driven a stock 240 shifter, it is a long throw shift. All right, well, that is really nice. It's like the nicest interior because these seats suck. Those floor mats are pretty badass. They're actually out of an S15 Sylvia. I bought those years ago. I don't even know if you can find those anymore. But that's awesome. This thing hasn't had a new shift boot in it probably the whole time I've had it. Well, definitely not the whole time I've owned this car. I've owned this car since late 2003, and the one that was in here before was pretty rough, so it was time. And this looks awesome. I'm actually super excited about this. I'll put a link for all this stuff in the description. Pull this back out, clean it up. We'll get a short shifter for this because look at that throw. It's long. And hopefully bring that down a little bit, but there we go. 240 is looking good. So that was the shift boot retainer. Bam. So we got a shift boot retainer on there, put a stereo in. Now we can drive this a little bit more comfortably when the 300 goes down for that stuff over there, which we're going to tear some more off of that engine and break it down a little bit more here shortly. That'll be for another video. I think that's it for right now. I know the girls were hollering for me to come in and do something else. So let's go in. Let's go see what's going on before I end this video. Let's see what they're doing. Shut these lights off. One last look out here. Garage is looking awesome. Got a nice pile of parts coming on over there. All right, are you waiting? Yeah, she's gonna kick my ass. She got some drinks for us. That's it for this one. Oh, look at the girls playing over here. Say hi, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Hi, Claire. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, well, I could have just ended the video out on that. We need to go drive this car around. I've got a little bit of running around to do. All right, we can go out on this video with some driving footage of the 240 and check out the new stereo, shift boot, see how that went in. And let's get in and drive this thing. Was a much better ending to this video. Worked on the 240, got some stuff taken care of off the list. Check that right off. We will have some more 240 stuff, so if you want to see some more of that, like, comment, subscribe, support the garage. Thank you so much. I will see you guys on the next one.